I'm here with Mike Healy, the co-founder and CEO of Labyrinth AI. Mike, what are you and your team building?
Well, we're building something really important for robotics today, and that is helping engineers actually train and build AI models for robotics. And so you've probably heard about and seen some of these breakdancing robots on the internet, and you would think that these AI models for robotics and humanoid robotics are right around the corner, so to speak. But one of the hardest problems is actually gathering data and training these robotic models, and so that's where we come in.
And what's going on today in the company, and then what are you excited about as you think about building here in Boston, building at MassRobotics?
Yeah, so I think what gets me excited about MassRobotics and the greater Boston community of startups, I really enjoy being here at MassRobotics and being, kind of in an environment that reminds me of Google, in a way, where there's a lot of innovation. We had an office in Google X, and so you felt like you were always surrounded by people trying to make a difference, make something happen in a very innovative and maybe even a moonshot kind of way.
Sure.
And so I think there's a strong dose of that here at MassRobotics, but what I think is interesting and a little bit different perhaps is that more of a real-world approach to things. It's not just research and moonshots, which certainly fascinate me, but at the same time, it's grounded in real-world applications for manufacturing, for e-commerce, and companies trying to solve real problems for other businesses.
And what have you learned from other companies in Boston, other companies you have your eye on that you would shout out for the rest of the community?
I would certainly shout out Chewy, a customer of ours who's been fantastic and super supportive. They're also a sponsor here at MassRobotics, actually. They've been super helpful, and we've been working very closely together on their projects and helping them to train AI models for their robotic applications. And so it's really nice to see a company, a large company like that, that also has a strong R&D wing that is focused on working with some cutting-edge startups like ourselves to help bring these robots to life.
This is Mike Healy, the co-founder and CEO of Labyrinth AI. Thanks for joining us. I'm here at MassRobotics with Robbie from the product and solutions engineering team at ModalAI. What are you and your team building?
Yeah, ModalAI builds smaller and safer Blue UAS NDAA compliant drones and drone components in the USA. So here's a good example of our drones. We have our Stinger FPV drone. We don't only make the drone, we build all the components in the drone. So these drones are powered by our Voxel 2 and Voxel 2 Mini, which is kind of an all-in-one flight controller, Linux computer, compute board that kind of handles everything that this drone needs to do in a really simple way.
Very cool. And what do you love about building here in Boston? Your startup's actually based in San Diego, but you have a growing team here and in the MassRobotics ecosystem.
MassRobotics is such a great place for us to build. I mean, there's no better space for a company that's trying to find a home outside of their home base to come in. Already have all the resources, the kind of community that you need. It takes a while to cultivate that at a new company, but being able to kind of drop in and already have a lot of that makes it super easy. For me, I've loved being able to kind of utilize the events that MassRobotics has, attend the lectures that they have. It's really great just to be able to tap into all that to kind of engage with the community as well as other people that are building really cool companies in Boston.
Yeah, and as you've gotten deeper into the robotics ecosystem and the startup ecosystem here in Boston, what are some startups you have your eye on that you're watching, that you've learned from, that you would share with the rest of the community?
Yeah, one that I really like is a fellow resident, Revolut Robotics. They're building some really cool stuff here. They've had some really great tests as of lately, and their users are loving what they're building. They use some of our components as well, so it's great to be able to collaborate with them and watch as they grow and build in a similar home to us.
Shout out Colin from Revolut. This is Robbie from ModalAI, Matt from MGMT Boston. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.